Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are as a viewer. If today's your first time watching me, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well as follow me on Facebook. Share the video as you always do. I trust you are well. 2023 is closing down, it's closing off. Okay, so if you have not planted anything in 2023, just keep in mind that 2024 has a new plan, totally different policies, and also different ways of how uh, the Canadian immigration are going to process things, especially with the student visa. So today I had a few questions being asked. A lot of people are asking, I like to travel. Can you help me with visa? I don't know the type of visa. So I just want to come here and sort of explain things the way it is and the way the government has laid down as in plans, and also sort of a goal for 2023. 2022, something happened where the government of Canada was rolling in a whole lot of different, I would say, processes and also policies to favor foreign workers, foreigners, students, and all sort of people that are coming into the country as a new immigrant or new people migrate who are coming here, perhaps passing by. There was a whole lot of different changes, a different set of laws and rules, one of which, because of COVID, student route. A lot of things changed between 2020, 2021, 2022, and therefore in 2023, 2022, we saw a whole lot of students flooding in the country. We saw students from Africa, all parts of Africa, Indian. For Indians alone, gives Canada government or schools, institutions over $2 billion because they do come here to educate themselves a lot. So a lot of things changed. Student visa, they were able to change the laws around worker people who can work, how many hours that student can work. They switched it from 20 hours and also working only on campus to anywhere, 20 hours to over 40 hours for students who are here in the country between the year 2022, 2023. And last year, or I would say beginning of this year, I made a video about the plans, the Canadian government, the immigration plan. So this year is another year. 2024 is coming. It's right at the corner. Let me first get to explain what is visitor's visa. Visitor's visa is plain as simple as you are visiting. But because of the way this country are made up with, when you are visiting from some countries, you need a visa. Okay. So you need a pass, basically. So if you are visiting your loved ones, your children, grandparents, it could be anybody, friends. A friend can invite you to come to Canada. Now, there are specific countries that don't need visa to come to Canada, and perhaps you are not one of them. So it is always good to go and check what you need as a pass in order for you to come to Canada. So let me just explain what do you need, and then we're going to get through. I'm not going to be long on this video because I have to go for massage. I've already booked the appointment, or they're going to charge me. So I'm going to try to keep it short. In order for you to come to Canada, and if your country requires visa for you to get in, you either need to be a tourist or visitor. For visitor, someone needs to invite you. Someone who is a Canadian who has a permit working in Canada can invite you. You could also be invited for a funeral. You could be invited for a wedding, graduation. It could be anything. You could also be invited just to come to Canada and, network with your friends. You haven't seen your friend for a very long time. Your friend work in Canada. They are PR, permanent residents, or they are a Canadian citizen. They can invite you. Once you are on a visitor's visa, many people are confused with what the visa actually gives them. As a visitor, you can visit anywhere. Like, let's say your friend lives in Ontario. If your friend lives in Ontario, you want to go to Nova Scotia, the visitor's visa grants you access to all Canadian cities or the provinces. You can go anywhere. You can go to Montreal, Saskatchewan, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, anywhere basically. We have 10 provinces. You can see, navigate yourself through those provinces, and 3 territories, I believe. Yeah, 13. So 3 territories, and those, and they are Atlantic cities in Canada that you can explore. You can visit anywhere once you have a visitor's visa. A visitor's visa gives you a period of maximum of 6 months. You can only stay a maximum of 6 months, regardless of how long your visa has. Some people are given 10 years or 5 years, 2 years, whichever years you are given. A lot of people are confused with that. Okay, so before I get into what Canada, the announcement as to what people can apply for, and I'm going to explain each one, but I just wanted to explain to you what visitor's visa is. You may have been given 10-year visa to Canada. All it means is that you can, within that 10 years, you can enter to Canada. You can enter Canada anytime that you want, but you cannot stay for 10 years. You can only stay as long as your visa remains visitor's visa. You can only stay for maximum of 6 months. Some people, they've been only given 6 weeks. So it all depends. You need to find out what the condition is. When the immigration officer, the ones who you have to pass through at the airport, port of entry, you need to be aware how long you are given in the country to stay on a visitor's visa. So we understand visitor's visa is you are only visiting. Are you able to work when you're coming in as a visitor? Can you work? The answer is no. You cannot work as a visitor visa. On a visit, if you're visiting, you can't work. Guys, share the video. When you let your be engaged. Facebook only notifies people when the first people who are here engages on the platform. So engage yourself on the platform. Click on the the like button, the love button, the hug button, any button, and also share the video. Some people may be here. They like to know what I'm about to say. So please share the video. Eric Tete, welcome. Perez Banda, Nana Kofi, and Chukwuo Ngozi, Anthony, welcome. Also, everyone watching, welcome. So if you're visiting, you cannot work because everybody who is able to work in Canada has this number called SIN number, social insurance number. That's your tax identification number. So if you're a visitor, you don't get that number. You're only visiting. You can only start to work when you change your status from visitor to work permit. You can either apply for school and get a job, and the job will give you a work permit, or you can, maybe you're visiting your girlfriend, you decide to get married. You can get married to your girlfriend and your fiance, you're visiting, or you meet someone, you can go, come back, get married, and you can get to stay, get yourself a work permit. But the only way you can work is you have a work permit. If you don't, you cannot work. So let's get that clear. So what is the update? So the Refugee and Citizenship Canada is pleased to release details on the government of Canada's immigration level plan for 2024 and 2026. So from 2024 to 2026, these are the plans that the government has. And please pay attention, and also as you share the video. The following the trajectory of the 2023 and 2025 plan, Canada aims to welcome 485,000 new permanent residents in 2024. So 500,000 in 2025 and plateau at 500,000 in 2026. So between now to 2026, the government of Canada is hoping to welcome new immigrants, and these includes the following people. Okay, this plan prioritizes economic growth. So they are looking for people who are coming to work and support family unification. In Canada, we value the family unit. Also, the economy is nice and booms when people remains together. The family structure, when it's healthy, the government makes good money. The governments don't go out of, because they spend a lot of money trying to fix people's home, because when your home is broken, you fall back on welfare system, you fall back on the social assistance in the system. So it costs the government money. So they are aiming by 2026 to welcome more than 500,000 immigrants, and the priority is sponsorship. So they're looking for people who has the family class. So sponsorship is one of them, to support family unification while responding to humanitarian. So the area of refugees and areas of other means humanitarian grounds, it's going to be limited. So if you look at it, they are actually looking for people sponsorship. They're looking for family, sort of family sponsorship, and also family unification. But the areas where humanitarian is, and also the economy. So first one is family unification and also economic growth. So job search, you're coming because you find job. You're coming because you have some special criteria that Canada is looking for. So make a very good use of what I'm giving you, seriously, okay? So humanitarian crisis and recognizing the rapid growth in immigration in recent years, okay? So they are looking at that area. They know that a lot of people want to come in under humanitarian grounds, but those things are very limited in number and in what Canada is hoping to achieve. So building on the achievement of a 4.4% target also on French-speaking permanent residents outside Quebec, okay? So basically, again, there are criteria, the areas that the Canada immigration is going to be targeting to meet this number in 2026. So part of it, that's why I keep talking to my people. We are French-speaking individuals as well in Ghana. If you have a second language as French, these are some of the things you might want to pay attention to, okay? So that French-speaking, which is outside Canada, which means that is why, if you look at Ontario, Ontario was not a French-speaking province, but because they want to also unify, they want to join the countries, they started years back French immersion classes, and they made it part of the, I would say, the beginning classes that parents can also sign up. Like my daughter is a French-speaking student. She's in French class, or you can either go to French immersion. So it is a target within the Canadian government to make this country a bilingual also everywhere. So that one of the areas they're going to look for is a French speaking for permanent residents outside Canada. The plan started in 2022. The plan includes new annual and progressively increasing French-speaking permanent resident target outside Quebec, which was 6%. Okay, by 2024, 6% and 7% in 2025, and gradually 8% in 2026. So if you are a French spoken individual, you want to migrate to Canada, again, this is opportunity for you. The immigrants have an important role to play in the labor market and growing our economy now and into the future, helping to ensure Canada has the skills needed to meet key goals such as supporting sustainability initiatives to transition to a green, net zero, and digital economy. And so that labor force gaps in critical sectors, health and science, technology, engineering, mathematics, which is STEM, trade, transportation, and agriculture are not a barrier to the success and expansion of Canada businesses. So basically, these are the areas that the Canadian government is targeting. There are a lot of plans and also programs that the government has rolled out to bring foreign workers into the country. And these areas are what Canada is actually hoping to get people who are specialized in those areas: health, science, technology, engineer and mathematics, trade, transportation, and agriculture. Okay, so these are the areas that if you are thinking about taking a course, okay, these are the areas that the government is going to look at as far as the express entries and other programs that the government has rolled out as a pilot program to bring foreign workers in are going to also look at. Also for family class, having family support is important for newcomers' well-being. And that is why I also find a lot of Nigerians coming with their, children and husbands. It is a bonus. Again, it is a good thing for you to include if you are married. When you are processing application, add it to it that you are a married individual. Okay. Also, I speak you speak French very well. Please, how do I do? Again, listen to it and maybe you can see where yours fall. Okay. So it is very, very good. It helps, it provides an economic benefit. Spouses and partner all often join the workforce and helps supplement household income. And parents and grandparents often provide childcare. You know why the Indians are really flourishing in this country is because the family unit is very strong. They are very united. You see, government of Ontario, when you have a family member, if you're coming and you have a family member, don't be shy to say it. My aunt, my grandma, because these things are what strengthens the economy. Because as a grandmother stays home, they are taking care of the children, and the children are the adults are working. So they really, really, really value family unit. Okay, so don't include your people, include your family unit, include your wife, your husband when you're applying for those these visas or these application. If you're applying for work, include your spouse, your children. Okay, Canada has a strong and proud tradition of offering protection to those in need, and the government's dedication to fulfilling humanitarian commitment continues. They just want to make sure that, of course, although they are looking at these things, your grandparent can come, although you are coming with work, your wife can also come based on a different ground. I know a lady who was coming with her children. The children were Canadians because the father to these children was a citizen, had the children back in their country, and the mother applied for visa. But because at the point of entry, the children are Canadians, she had to claim refugee because they were questioning the reason she was coming in. I mean, they understand the case of Canadians, but she had to claim refugee. So you see the difference, a big difference. Okay, so welcoming newcomers is not just about admission target set, but must also take into account support and services required by newcomers and Canadians alike, including housing, healthcare, coordination and collaboration, communication and partnership are instrumental to welcoming newcomers and ensuring that appropriate supports are in place to help them achieve positive outcome. What they're trying to say is that, you see, everybody matters. The people you know matters. Community support matters. Partnership is very, because it makes, if you look at the Ghanaian community, for example, the churches has taken on a huge responsibility to the newcomers. At our church, last week, I saw rice being distributed to these newcomers. Okay, so it really, really helps to ensure that appropriate support are in place to help those newcomers who are coming in. They don't know anything. So Canada also, and we also have organization, Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario. These are all partners that the government actually depends on to make sure that any newcomer coming into the country is well catered to. And that is why the government funds these organizations. They fund the organization and ensures that the organization has every necessary instruments or information resources in place to help those newcomers that are coming in. In line with this, to inform this plan, the IRCC has undertaken early effort to establish a whole of government and a whole of society approach to admissions planning in order to promote integrated planning and coordination across level of government and with partners and stakeholders. Stakeholders are schools, okay? Schools, institutions. Let's say you're coming for people are coming in because they have a conference. Those conferences are stakeholders. Those job and work employees are stakeholders. So they are dependent on all of them to make sure that so they have, with the immigration, the classes is going to be immigrant category, economic, family, refugee, and protected person, humanitarian, and compassion grounds. So in overall, let me just move into where some people can also benefit from this. Overall, French-speaking permanent residents admission outside Quebec indicated here present the number of admission required to meet the 6% target in 2024. 2025 is 7% and 8% target in 2026, which that has been set. These admissions are not in addition to the overall plan permanent residence admissions. These targets are for admissions outside Quebec and are therefore calculated based on how many admissions within the federal level plan would be necessary to meet the target based on the overall range for admission outside of Quebec. Outside Quebec meaning that people who comes into the other provinces, which is Ontario, they come because they are bilingual and they are coming in as teachers. If you're a teacher, pay attention to these things because this is very, very key. Once Quebec tables is set their target 2024 immigration level plan, these numbers may require an update. So just stay in touch. You may be one of the 6%, 7%, or 8% that Canada is going to include in granting a permanent resident in Canada. As a teacher, as a professional, if you have a second language, again, this is an opportunity for you. Include all these things, all these targets include a number of programs that the government has set out for the next 3 years, 24, 25, and 26. This includes Federal Skilled Workers Program, Federal Skilled Trade Program, and Canadian Experience Class. The federal skilled worker program are if you're outside, you have a skill set, you may be a nurse, you may be a doctor, you may be, there's a program which is part of the express entry level, and then there's a trade. You have, you're a carpenter, you are this, you are that, a builder, you're a crane machine operator, all those things, and also Canadian class experience. You are in the country, you've worked for 2 years, 1 year, you can apply to become a permanent resident. It also includes the time-limited temporary public policy for temporary residents to permanent resident pathway. Okay, there are people who are here on a temporary public policy for, like, there's a pathway for people who are here on a temporary permit to become a permanent resident. So all those things are also included. And there are people who are already in 2023. Sorry. But I'll come back to see how. So there are already people who are in 2023 has submitted their pathway process. I am doing very good, Mr. Odru. If you want to join me, you can join me. I'm doing very good. I called you yesterday. So there are people who are within that pathway in 2023. So 2024, they become part of the numbers that the government are going to include, because they are students who are working, but they are not permanent residents as yet. There's a pathway for them to become a permanent resident. There are people who came here under work permit, under the job class action, which is the LMIA. They are here working. They're not permanent yet. So these are the people who are also going to be part of it. So admission under the municipal nominee program will be included within this category. The following program launch. Okay, so there are a lot of program. So there's the PNP, the provincial nominee programs. Okay, it's a number based. It's just like the American green card lottery. Canada has the same thing. They keep your application in a system for 1 year. For that year, whatever they asked you, it earns you a point. A lot of young people are here based on this program. It's, if you're under 30, it is good for you, and you have a profession, is also good for you. You're a student. It's a brilliant idea to also look into that. This also includes admission in home child care provider and the home support worker pilot program, and also admission from preceding caregiver programming, for which applications are being processed to completion. Listen, there's a pilot program for people who has babies. There's also people you can come and take care of. That application fills up so quickly because our sisters, the Filipinos, have the key to that application. So as soon as the government opens the portal, boom, the number fills up so quickly because they are prepared. They are ready to come in. They've done it before. Some of them has come to Canada. They worked, they left, and they are coming back. So the home care provider and the home support worker pilot program fills up so quickly. All these people falls into the same program. And also, there are people who brings foreign workers to take care of their children for them. Another one is that I am doing well, Obed Badu, I'm doing well. These are some of the things. So, Mr. Ojo, your next child, please make sure you bring someone. I'm waiting on my sister to, give birth again. So your next child, we have to bring someone from back in Ghana and for them to take care of your child for you. So these programs are in 2023. Once it opens up, make your application ready, complete it. It's called the Child Care Giver Program and also the Home Support Worker. It's a pilot program. The government is testing it to see whether people will conduct themselves appropriately when they come. A lot of Filipinos are into this thing a lot, okay? So this includes the caring for children. Like I said, people can sponsor other people based on the LMIA process. It is a porter. It is an exemption. Okay, it's a porter. They offer you the job. Okay, they offer a foreign worker a job. You don't need an LMIA certification. It's called LMI, but you open up a portal. They advertise the job for a month or so, and then nobody completes it. These people actually includes the job criteria is you need to know how to make fufu, you need to know how to make banku or tizet. If you add that, nobody in Canada will take that job. If you add it, nobody in Canada will take that job. So, and then you need to be able to speak Twi. So our children can learn Twi. So Odro, you have to now add the criteria. I need someone who can take care of my children, who speaks Twi with my children on a daily basis. I need someone who can cook my children infantin dokono. These are how the Indians bring their people, okay? Or Filipino, they will add their cultural and traditional practices in the job search, so nobody can apply in Canada. I don't know if my internet is messing up, but forgive me, okay? So this is how, or people who have a high medical needs classes. There are people who are at home and there are shortage of nurses. So many people comes through this pilot program to take care of families who has a high medical needs. So these are all going to be included. Guys, there's a lot of things you can apply for. I'm going through one by one so you guys can understand. Okay, so a temporary public policy refers to as an interim pathway. Oh, Sandra, I'm coming. Sandra, I need to move my car, right? I'm coming. Guys, I'm parked at a different parking lot. I'm going to go through, I'll stop. But let me say, so there's a public reference, an interim pathway for caregivers. And the legacy live in caregiver program. Okay, so that is what I just explained. Under the Canada-Quebec Accord Quebec has a full responsibility for setting their own goal when it comes to 2023, just like the way the rest of the provinces has, made their own referral. Quebec calculated about 336,000. They accepted 36,000 immigrants in 2024, 34,020. So these numbers may also be changed. Okay, so I'm gonna end it here. I hope that this actually is enough information at least. And on my next video, I'm going to go through on showing you the website. In fact, I'll show you the website, how to process or how to begin your application. And I hope that you share the video. Go on my YouTube channel. This time I joined the two sites. I will invite my brother Kwajo here for those who are already in the country and how they can survive financially and become successful in a country. Back in the days, we never had people like myself, Brother Kwajo Odro, and many others who are doing it the right way, because we had this mentality that we were coming to look for $10,000, because we never made even $1 in Ghana. So we were coming to make 10,000 and then go back home to make our orange farm bigger. And then when we got here, oh my God, $10,000 in fact was nothing, because we saw a lifestyle that we've always been dreaming about. So we started living here, and now our children are going to continue. We have children, the children are going to continue to live here. So we need to learn how to live across this globe and how to be successful anywhere we find ourselves. So again, thank you very much for watching. And I'm going to, I'll do that. I'm going to do that, go through one by one how to process the application. It's very easy. In fact, it's you who can tell you about you more than you can to yourself. So thank you very much, guys, and share the video. Bye-bye.